EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the International Challenge. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Always a treat to be in Scotland, Frank, and at one of the oldest golf clubs in the world, Royal Troon.
Yeah, it's getting close to 150 years old. It was first established all the way back in 1878. Actually, the original golf course only had 5 holes on it. But over the Open Championship roster, this has probably been the most successful, or provided the most success to American players. The last 6 Open Championship winners were all American.
Has one of the most famous holes in all of major championship golf, the 123-yard par 3 8th. It's known as the postage stamp, and one of the legends had a really nice moment there many years ago.
The late Gene Sarazen, the Squire, and he had a little ace there, all televised too, and it was a great way to remember his phenomenal career.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
He'll need to be strong with this. And he's made it onto the green now. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of this green up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
On the green in regulation. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Even par, currently.
Solid par. Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Now playing the second here at the par 4. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. Could it be?
Sneaking into contention here with that birdie.
Top 15 now on the leaderboard. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997 playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. That was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3. Second shot.
He's hit the green here at the 16th, but he's not yet hit this putt. It is a long one, about 30 feet away, and it'll test him. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
And getting ready for the putt. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit, 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green.
They'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away in a good spot. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, you've played in and contended at so many major championships. It's not a major if the finishing hole doesn't present a real challenge. What do you think of Royal Troon's finishing hole?
Well, it's not just the 18th hole, Rich, too. It's 16, 17, and 18, because the prevailing breeze, especially at the Open Championship time of the year, which is the second week in July, is normally back into it. So you look at that 464 yards, that's well bunkered off the tee, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. into a puffer breeze, and you've got yourself a great finishing hole. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. This is a good move. Another birdie. Now to 5 under for the tournament. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club
so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo set to bring you all of the action for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. And Frank, what can the players expect from Wolf Creek?
Just a mesmerizing layout, Rich. You can see that from above. Straight driving is imperative out there today. You actually don't have to hit the ball a long way. The elevation on those tees is going to give you that extra distance on almost every shot. You can even take driver out of play on some of the holes. But really it's about being in the right position first on those tee shots that you're going to hit today.
The green is up above, and this will play at least a club longer. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club. And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Plenty going on here today. Let's see what's happening at the 14th. Frank, what's the mindset this late in the first round when you haven't played your best?
Well, somehow you've got to get into the clubhouse, minimize the damage. And you've also got to figure out what's gone wrong. A little trip to the range, fix it up. Tomorrow will be a better day.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's that sneaky distance.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Getting set now over the putt. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the Wiley golf instructor makes his birdie. From a short par 3 to a short par 4. Just 393 yards here at the 16th, Frank.
And when you stand on this tee, this hole looks anything other than straight. Goes to the left and comes back to the right. But if you can just fixate at the green in the distance, you're actually going to look like a relatively straight par 4. And that's the way the hole should be played. Look at those first two bunkers that you see and just try and split those. Good tee shot here and nothing more than a wedge left into this green. Simplify it. That's the key. I tell you, there's long and long. And that, with a little bit of breeze behind, is long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Frank, you'd like to walk away with birdie here, given that it is a pretty short par 4. How do you get it done?
You're going to have something in sort of the short iron variety into this green. The green, the hardest part of it is all the undulations on this green. You realize why Wolf Creek has a slope rating of 154. So even with a short iron in hand, make sure you hit it in the precise section where that flag's located. Otherwise, you're going to have a hellacious putt across this green.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. For par. Still playing even for the day after the par. Frank, this is really a cool closing stretch here at Wolf Creek. Short par 3 15th, the short 4 at the 16th, and now the par 5 17th. You can make up some ground in a hurry as you come down the finishing stretch.
You certainly can. A good drive short of the little stream creek that runs across there, and this is doable as a two-shotter. You find the bunkers or trouble off the tee, then obviously you're forced to lay up, leaving that third shot across the water. But really a fun hole if you want to try and take that second shot on.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost, because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target. Well, that was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
Oh, without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. Now,
300 yards. It's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and well, they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse.
not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1. Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see 2 par 5s back to back, so the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.
Hear the noise from up here in our commentary box. Crowd goes wild after that eagle.
Just when you think struggling for a top.
That name on top of the leaderboard.
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Well, this is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. It's the EA Sports Spring Invitational, and just a stunning golf course. It's Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, we're in for quite a day.
We are. We're going to see the decision-making processes of some of the fine players out there today. And the reason why I say that, Rich, is because there's so much elevation here at Wolf Creek. So you're going to have to make those adjustments on the downhill and the uphill. Club selection decisions. And, of course, the one that does that the best is more than likely the one that's going to come out on top.
This one's sweet, Frank.
Super. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, from the Middle East to here in Nevada, you've played desert golf around the world. What does it feel like?
Oh, it's fun. It's an oasis. Normally just the drive to a golf course. You're trying to imagine, there can't be a golf course around here. Where could it be? Where all of a sudden is one going to pop up? And then over a mountain you go, and you go, there it is, a green oasis. And the other thing about desert golf, they look so perfect in amongst that because the backdrop around really makes the golf course itself pop.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
We're in the desert, partner. I need water.
You're going to get it here, Rich. Par 5 second hole's got a nice stream that runs down the left side, as well as cutting the fairway. There's a crop of some 3 bunkers down that right side. I want to avoid that, but, Rich, this hole isn't too long. Under 500 yards, not even going to play that long, so very reachable.
Frank, what's it going to take here on this approach at the par 5?
Well, some people might actually try and bounce it in between those 2 bunkers and run the ball up on the green, but personally, I'd try and actually take a hybrid or something with a little bit more loft and try and fly the ball. Take those 2 bunkers out of play.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Great effort, a little too strong. It didn't take the break.
He's got a birdie chance now coming back. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Has it. Now to 7 under for the tournament. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes once again are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
99 yards away. This has really been impressive. High level of golf today, putting on a clinic out there. Good-looking shot right here. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. In for par. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop-off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
Look out, that ball's OB, and that'll be a one-shot penalty. so playing the third shot right now after having gone OB. Frank having to deal with the elements today.
Yeah, this is anything other than just playing on a calm day, so you've got to be so aware of the direction it's coming from. He's done a good job.
Frank, this game you know full well is not just about the good hard strikes. Sometimes you have to control your golf ball, and he doesn't quite seem to be able to do that yet.
Yeah, distance control is a skill. No two ways about it. Know how far you hit each club.
Frank, there's a real art to putting a good score on the board, isn't there?
Yeah, that's why stroke play is so tough, Rich. You're trying to minimize everything on a golf course, turn a 6 into a 5 or a 4 into a 3. It's like even off the edge of a green, trying to get up and down in 2 rather than 3. And you've got to do it for 18 straight holes. If it's a 72-hole tournament, then you've got to do it for 4 straight days. And that's why that's always been the best predictor of our best players, the ones that can go 4 days and make the least number of mistakes.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another. If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Frank, the 8th here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada is really the signature par 3, isn't it?
I'd go so far, Rich, to say this is a great par 3. Doesn't matter where it was played. The stream that sort of comes all the way down there and surrounds the left side of the screen makes this hole really daunting. Logic would say if you're going to miss the screen, obviously you'd miss it to the right, but it's just a beautiful hole. And then you put the fact that the canyon frames the whole hole itself. It's beautiful.
That one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
That one is gone. OB. Third shot now after having gone OB. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Clean this up with a tap. Bad news is, that's a bogey. The good news, still tied for the lead.
Yeah, he's the only one disappointed. The rest of the field aren't. Made it a real cat fight.
Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. And chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Safely on deck.
Sure strike. Good result.
Right, and that is close.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Always some extra excitement when you get to the first major championship of the year, and here we are. Rich Lutter alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Partner, this is a big one.
It certainly is, Rich, and being the first major of the year, you know the players are going to be a little bit more nervous. Anticipations of a great year are going to start right here this week at Wolf Creek. And you're going to have to make all those adjustments out there. Is your game ready? Can you adjust for the changes in elevation? And do you have the confidence to go all the way and pick up the first major championship of the year?
Here at the fourth, 383 yards from the back tee. It's a dogleg right, but Frank, looking at all of those bunkers, you could really make a mess of this hole if you stray.
You can. That's why you've got to simplify it. Just something there that's going to find the fairway. Even like 3-wood and a wedge, that's really all this hole's going to require. Avoid the canyons on the left and in the desert, as well as just, I don't know how many bunkers there is on the right side. So a little bit of fairway up the left, find that there, and really you should be looking at a birdie putt.
About 120 yards to the hole. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Getting set now over the putt. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that left, down that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels. Second shot.
Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. With that birdie, moves one shot closer to the lead. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg ride, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green. Once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here. Hazard,
maybe wet.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high. Others might want to play it a little lower along the ground.
Really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich. And really that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions. But conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
Trying to make yet another birdie. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Locked in on the read and the speed. He'll take par and move on. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and it's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and it's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Frank, this is always such a difficult spot for a golfer. You just hit one out of bounds, you're trying to regroup.
He's going to need to more than regroup now.
So now he's playing his third shot, Frank, after hitting it OB.
Yeah, good tee shot, though. So see if he can string a couple of good shots together now.
And he's made the green. So just a formality here. And with that par, moving into a tie for the lead.
It's about to get interesting.
There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present final round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Nevada getting set for what should be a wonderful day of golf. Wolf Creek Golf Club is the site for the action. And Frank, this really is the definition of desert golf. It is spectacular.
The green oasis, Rich, amongst this canyon area is just something to be seen, really. It's hard to imagine you can actually build a golf course like this. Elevated tees, huge changes in elevation, and you're sort of weaving your way around this magnificent sort of topography. And to be honest, I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's just an oasis. Amazing.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, why are great rivalries so important? Why do we love them?
I think because people like to sit on one side of the fence. You're either for or against a great player. And I think we see that today with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. There's the McIlroy fans that think his future is so bright. There's the Woods fans that still want him to pass Jack Nicklaus's record. That's the beauty. You've got to have an opinion, and you have to have a player.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
And he makes it for par. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Now to the par 5, 12.
To the left, caught water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, I've seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12.
in the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
The second shot now to the par 4.
Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Has his par. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. So this is where club selection becomes much more important. Uphill, make sure you have enough stick, and then swing away.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now he'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Ball sitting down here in the rough, he's digging in. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Settles in over the putt.
You'd like that one again.
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. That one reverberates through the field, giving up 2 shots, and now a tie for the lead after the double bogey.
Big, big mistake.
Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag? Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
On the 15th green in regulation, but not yet in the hole. This is about a 30-footer, and he'll look at it from a couple of different angles just to try to get a feel for it. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
He needs this for bogey. Bad news is that's a bogey. The good news, still tied for the lead.
Yeah, he's the only one disappointed. The rest of the field aren't. Made it a real cat fight.
Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other. But really, when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those two bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely. So play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
Well, we've seen this before today in the bunker. Well, we've got about 135 yards left. That is another laser right at the flagstick. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Well, maybe next time. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. In for par. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward. And I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
We knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect, right down the middle of the fairway. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's at sneaky distance.
So the eagle goes begging. He still has this for birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
So just a formality here. That's a par, but that is also second place.
That's right. Birdies are being made elsewhere.
Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course, you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and well, they want you to finish on a good note. So a good drive in the fairway here, or 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read, and missed out on that second part. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Birdies are hard to come by in this situation. So tight.
Keeps him right in the thick of it. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Boston Championship. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobila. We're at the TPC Boston here in Massachusetts. And Frank, what kind of a golf course are we facing today?
Big golf course, very much a sort of an inland link style. Gil Hanse and Brad Faxon, they've tweaked it over the last few years. It's been a staple on the FedEx Cup playoffs since 2007.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Second shot, good look at the green. Good, clean contact and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up.
It's no snack, though.
You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Nice par to remain 1 under. And we take you back down to the action at the 14th. Frank, how would you assess this first round performance from our featured golfer?
I'd say commercial, solid, very professional. If this is the worst round they score all week, it's not such a bad round. What a great shot.
Good contact, good result. Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
So this is the third shot to the par 5. Birdie try up next. Has this putt for birdie. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. Settled over the ball here at the 15th, 421 yards on this par 4.
Uphill, you can see everything that you have to avoid. Find the green grass in between.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Frank, here at the 16th, you really see this sort of New England character, don't you?
Yeah, that stone wall now protects that sort of two-tiered green, and it sort of showcases the golf course. It just fits in beautifully with what Hans and Faxon have done to the golf course. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Frank, what happened there on the approach?
It was a poor decision, and let's see now. Got to think this one out a little bit better than that second shot, see if you can get it up and down.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
This for par. With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Frank, 412 yards on the card doesn't look like a whole lot, but
you can play a little longer because really you've got to play it down the right. Don't play it as a dogleg. Just go point A and then point B.
Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering
it looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Settles in over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Now in the top 5 after that par. Frank, the par 5 18th here at TPC Boston. This is a chance to be a hero.
Oh, there is. The mere mortals play it down the left side. Everything slopes from left to right. But that bunker with the puff of breeze behind, if you can carry that, you are one of the longest hitters around.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway.
Second shot.
Headed for the bunker? That one is in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Good chance here. Good birdie right there, moving to 3rd place on the leaderboard. There you have it, Frank. First round is complete. What are your thoughts, partner?
Rich, I think anyone inside the current top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly well placed to go on and take this championship.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Boston Championship. All set to go, we take you to the first hole. Stepping up to the first tee and off a surprisingly good first round. Let's see if our featured player can conjure up some of that magic here in round 2. Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
This one just inside 30 feet. Yeah, certainly you wouldn't call that close.
On the computer, it registers at 29 feet. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week, just a few too many pars. Frank, they renovated the par 5 second back in 2010. What'd they do to the hole, and how does it play now?
Well, they changed the green, especially the left side. There's a huge mound there now. It's still a driver off the tee, but before you could bail out on the left side, you can't bail out anymore. It's a devilish of a chip over that mound.
Those chocolate drop mounds give the course a really nice look.
Yeah, they just pop. And you can see them, and you know that they're problematic.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
So on a putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
Sneaking into contention here with that birdie.
Top 15 now on the leaderboard. So we started with a short par 4, then the par 5 second, now a par 3 here at the third, Frank.
Got an L-shaped green just protected by that bunker on the right, so be very careful where that flag's located. That's an absolute beauty.
No putter? No problem. Slams that into the cup. Frank, you've talked about this sort of New England feel they gave this golf course when they remodeled it. This is a pretty good example here at the third hole.
Yeah, that stone wall behind just sort of makes the golf course look like it's been there forever. They have tweaked the green a little bit on that left side, created a little bit of a ridge. You can sort of play the ball off that if you know where you're going. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
So the second of the par four goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
He'll need to be strong with this. Solid play, heart of the green. Just 5 feet left. So after all that, it's a bogey. Frank, now a beefed-up par four. This is the fifth, 466 yards long.
Prettiest hole on the golf course. A nice, gentle dogleg left. There's a bunker down the left side about 300 yards, and then there's a run out at 350. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, the TPC Boston really starts to show its teeth here in the fifth hole.
Yeah, beautiful hole. That green up ahead, though, there's 3 different sections. Obviously, the easy section is that middle one where it just pokes out to the left.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Well, at least he can draw on the experience from the previous hole. Again, in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aimed the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Has it. Good putt right there. So 2 rounds in the books. Frank, that was fun.
It certainly was. It bodes well for the weekend. Saw a lot of good players that seem to actually have a good fit for this golf course. So that bodes well for the next 36 holes.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Boston Championship. All right, Frank, now to the 6th hole. It's a 465-yard par 4. What are the keys?
Well, it's framed beautifully by the trees just in front of the tee, so you know exactly where you're trying to go down there. 2 little bunkers on the right if you stray a little right, and if you stray a little left, you might just make it to the water.
That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
A good 190-yard shot, and this is the second. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green.
It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep.
It's a big green. He's managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. This is a pretty sizable par 5 here, Frank, the 7th.
But it's reachable. There's some mounds down there. If you keep it down the right side, hopefully that tee shot can kick it a little forward. And then that green, angled at about 45 degrees, very reachable.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be.
Second shot. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
I'll make this about 100 yards. Third shot. Safely aboard. Par yesterday, now for birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Even par, currently.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. On to the 8th hole, Frank. Nice par 3.
Yeah, this is where the accurate iron player will definitely get an advantage over the field.
Missed that one. And it is going towards the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Birdie try again here today. Looks like he just misread that. And getting ready for the putt.
Good solid stroke there. No sign of nerves on that.
Real golfers, by the way, do not eat tuna sandwiches at the turn. They eat a hot dog, right?
Well, yeah, but if you make a mess of 9, then you're making hamburgers.
Up with the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
Frank, here at the 9th, what are most players trying to do?
Well, you really have to be aware of that bunker. That's about 25 yards short of the green. If you finish up there, that's one of the hardest shots in golf, the long bunker shot. So you've got to carry that, even if you want to run the ball onto this green.
That will be a great look at birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
They'll take it. That's a par. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We're back on a beautiful fall day here at the TPC Boston, getting set to kick off the action here on the back nine. I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frank, where has that been?
Yeah, thank God for small mercies.
11th hole here at TPC Boston. Frank, this is a stout par 3 at 231 yards.
Plays a little bit uphill, and that big gaping bunker just short right. Have to avoid that.
Headed for the bunker? Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
And he's made it onto the green now. "21 feet from pay dirt." Wow, I can't believe he found the cup on that one.
Clean up.
And going to the final 18, Frank, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think you're going to have to approach the final round in a couple of different phases. Try and be aggressive early on. If you do get a few birdies in the bank, you really still can fancy yourself with a chance to win. It'll all depend on that start tomorrow.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Boston Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the TPC Boston in Massachusetts. Frank, this is a really good-looking golf course.
Fun golf course too, Rich. Starts off with a relatively soft par 4, not very long, and then, of course, the fourth hole. You remember that on TV. It's a drivable par 4. 5, really, this beautiful dogleg left par 4. I think it's one of the prettiest holes on the golf course. Reminds me of Sunningdale in England. 7's a par 5. 2 good hits, you might be able to get home. Don't talk about the 9th to Phil Mickelson. Never really likes that hole at all. So made a mess of it over the years. Good finish there at 18, but really, if you want to look at maybe a tough stretch in the back nine, 13, 14. If you make a couple of pars through there, then you've done well.
Frank, it's a nice walk to make down the fairway when you can see your golf ball right there in the middle.
Rich, there's an old saying, fairway first. And there's another example. Hit it in the fairway, and the game becomes very straightforward.
Just a beautiful tee shot. Third shot, looking for a good one. Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. So looking at the leaderboard, there is one name that really jumps out, and it's Rory McIlroy. He is now only 2 shots behind the leader. Beautiful looking shot right here.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Vijay Singh, Charlie Hoffman, and Big Henrik Stenson, they all have one thing in common. They all tied for the low tournament score at TPC Boston, 22 under.
And they're all good. Yeah, this is a golf course that obviously gives in to the longer hitters. And if there's just a little bit of sting taken out of the greens, then these long hitters have a huge advantage. Should be safely on deck.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Frank going for 2 in a row now. Starting to move now, Frank, on this leaderboard.
Certainly going all in the positive direction. He's in the middle of the pack, now top 15.
Moving on to 16 now. This is one where you sort of lick your chops, Frank, because it's pretty short, 161 yards. Where's the challenge here?
Where the fish go. That big lake on the left, that's the challenge. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Needs this for par. Has his par. Frank, the 17th here at TPC Boston underwent quite a radical change.
Yeah, that renovation and that redesign that they did, it changed the character of the hole, but they still kept that big mound in the middle of the green. So that second shot is still punishing if you misjudge it.
And players nursing a lead, they might want to think about playing it safe down the right side, but if you're trying to make up some ground, you could try to fly the church pews that divide the fairway into 2 sections, and that would give you a nice short wedge in.
Yeah, give you a short wedge in, but really the risk, is it worth it? Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Coming down the home stretch here at the 17th, set up well for a chance to go after this flagstick. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
On to the finishing hole here at TPC Boston. What can we expect, Frank?
Drive down the left side, and then it's all about the second shot.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that. Really, I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
So that concludes the final round here at this spectacular setting. Frank, final thoughts on the tournament?
Rich, I thought this was really a fantastic venue that challenged the players, and we saw some exciting golf out there all across the board.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to call all the action here at the Wells Fargo Championship. We are at Quail Hollow, and Frank, it is really one of the best courses on tour.
It is a great state of North Carolina where Donna Ross developed so many great courses. They're the sort of courses that we're used to seeing, but this is a relatively new golf course. First opened up in 1961, but it certainly fits in with the North Carolina landscape. Mature trees, holes well cut out, beautiful greens, and interesting finish.
How do you like that finishing stretch? They call it the Green Mile.
Some might think it's purgatory, but I think it's the perfect touch to a great golf course.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. So going well up the hill to that green, will need to take an extra club here. Good-looking shot right here. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. He'll have 17 feet on this putt. So with that birdie, he moves to 1 under for the tournament.
Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill, fairway tilts a little bit to the right, and it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. That's a birdie. That's a good position from which to make a weekend move, comfortably inside the cut line, still with plenty of time left in this tournament. Action flying all over the place. Let's get down now to the 13th. Frank, our featured player, putting together an excellent round so far.
When you look at the score at the end of the week, Rich, this round actually just might make his tournament.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. Not quite what he was hoping for, the tee shot in the bunker. Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
And great execution. Right out of the bunker and right next to the hole. Settles in over the putt. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. Now at 1 under for the round. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around 270 and kicks 30 or 40 yards, finishes up about 20 yards short of the green. I think that's the best ploy. You won't be able to get at all the flags, but I think you'll play the whole under par for the week.
When's the right time to pull out the big driver and have a go at this green?
I don't think there is, but maybe you at home should try.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. What really sets Quail Hollow apart here at the Wells Fargo Championship, the brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile, and we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello. Second shot, good look at the green.
Not a problem there, Rich.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Frank, we've all been there. You hit one in the water, you're down. How do you regroup?
You've got to start from scratch again. Everybody's going to hit bad shots. That's just the nature of the game. But compounding mistakes, that's the problem that you want to avoid.
After hitting it in the drink, this is the 4th shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
He went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is. Just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
So, in the water, now in position, playing his 6th shot.
Just got to act like it didn't happen. Well, he's taking the right side out of play, Rich. It looks a little left.
Coming out of the rough, not able to control it the way he wants. Played that one on the commercial side, as they say in the professional game, inside 30 feet.
Yeah, 27 feet to be precise, but to make it from there, that's asking for a bit.
Kind of a tricky read. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Just a little tap in here. Well, after that train wreck, you can see the golfer muttering to himself. Not sure what he's saying, but if I'm a lip reader, I'm thinking, you stink? Something like that? Golfers can be so hard on themselves.
Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
And that's in for a par.
Well, Frank, what do you think of the ninth hole here at Quail Hollow?
Oh, I think it's a beauty, Rich. One of those long, nice drawing tee shots. 500 yards is a par 4. You have to hit a good drive down there. The fairway doesn't camber that much. Hole does dogleg to the left. Big advantage for a big tee shot here.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Second from an excellent lie. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break?
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So they'll tap in. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
He struggled on the front, but a chance to regroup here on the inward half, Frank.
Well, if you look at around the golf and you made a couple of double bogeys on the first or you made a couple of double bogeys on the end, it would still add up. Now, let's hope that the back nine is all gravy. I'm loving that balance.
And now the second shot here at this par 5. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
He'll need to be strong with this.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
And at last, he has made a birdie.
And what can he do from here, though? Is that the start of something? It looks like it is.
Frank, on this backside at Quail Hollow, a player does have a good chance to get off to a good start with that par 5 10th and now relatively short par 4 11th, where a player with a good drive could stick a short iron in their hands.
Yeah, this is one you're going to have to make a decision. You can just play this as a straightforward dogleg left par 4 and hit a 3-wood or a long iron up there and 9-iron or something like that into the green. Or, if you want to, you can try and blast a drive around the corner. I don't know if that's the more prudent play, but it's fun.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole. From that spot,
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in. Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Just a tap in to finish the hole. So a drop shot.
Well, early exit for one of what I thought Rich was going to be the favorite, but their week's over.
numbers don't lie in this case, in this sport, and now a missed cut.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Players.
Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, coming to you from one of the game's most famous venues, the TPC Sawgrass, home to the Players.
And home of the Players too. The PGA Tour professionals that play the tour, they basically run and own this wonderful venue. It is their championship, and it's one that each one of those players playing here this week would want to win. It might not be considered a major, but the Players, it is their championship.
Back over now to the fourth. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Settles in over the putt. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Fifth hole here at TPC Sawgrass, long par 4. What's the challenge, Frank?
Depending, really, if you're long or short hitter. The long hitters have the luxury of taking it over the corner of the bunker down the right. Shorter hitters really play at that bunker down the left, 320 run out.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Frank now getting set for the second shot here at the fifth.
Yeah, relatively big green or flat green, but you've got to be careful. If you miss it on the left, especially in that left rough just short of the bunker, it's a little devilish of a chip.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. These putts keep the round together. Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and now sits comfortably inside the cut line. Frank, one of our colleagues at Golf Channel, Brian Hammond's always liked to say, keep it in the short grass. It is nice to play from the fairway.
The game's so much easier from the fairway. Less decisions to be made. You don't have to worry about a flyer or the lip in front of the bunker or a tree. The game almost appears straightforward from there.
Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank's 7th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. How do you break this one down?
Not overly long, 440 yards, but once again, it's a tee shot. If you're driving the ball well, that's fine. You just sort of blister it down there, but you're starting to lose one a little bit to the right. There's 3 pot bunkers there. And, of course, if you're fearful of it going left, there's the canal all the way down the left side that'll get your attention.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Frank, you've been there. What's the best way to approach this next shot at the 7th hole?
There's a lot of mounding on this 7th green, to the right and the left. You can use those mounds to kick the ball to the flag.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Just a little tap in here. Holding steady now at 2 under par. Frank, 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par 3s, justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is, longest of the 4 par 3s, plus it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
Not too bad, about 25 feet away. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. That is a solid par putt.
Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Players. Welcome once again to TPC Sawgrass for the Players. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action. And Frank, the 17th hole is always the place to be during this great championship.
It certainly is, Rich. The energy, as we know, each and every year has just been electric at 17, and I don't expect it to be any different today. Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Frank, drive down the right side.
Yeah, and it certainly opens up. Now you've got a full view of the flag, and this is birdie time.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. Frank, 17 gets so much attention here at the TPC Sawgrass, but 13, par 3, is exciting in its own right.
It is, and it's actually more difficult than 17. One of the reasons it's longer, and also the green here. 17 obviously has two sections in it, front and top. This has, I don't think there's a flat piece on it. And every now and again we watch a ball roll all over this green and actually find the cup for the odd ace.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. And getting ready for the putt. You hate to miss the short ones. Ouch.
Doesn't dig into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there.
Frank, historically in this great championship, 14 has proven to be a pivotal hole.
Everybody focuses on the finish here, but you're absolutely right, Rich. This can be an absolute scorecard record because if you spin your drive left, the drop back, perhaps on the ladies' tees, you can make 6 in a heartbeat. You try and air to the right, you can make 6 from the mounds. So a good drive down 14 gives you a chance for that fast finish.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Frank, challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it. Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
He'll take par and move on. Frank, the 15th hole certainly has the respect of the professionals.
But you're right. This is a positional hole where just keep the ball down the left center. You can't go too far, though, because you'll get blocked out or you'll run out of fairway. From there, it's really about knowing where the flag is, what position on the green, because this is another green that's not flat. If the second shot lands on the wrong portion of the green, it'll finish well away from the hole.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Down on the green has about 10 feet left there to save par. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
There you have it, Frank. The second round is complete. What are your thoughts?
I think anybody looking at this leaderboard, anybody in the top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly in a good position to win. Quality of the golf there in that first 10 is excellent.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's third-round coverage of the Players.
Hole number 11, 558-yard, par 5. Frank, Players in attack mode here.
Yeah, just try and blitz it down there. There are other bunkers on the left to consider, but really, with that much fairway, this is a green light opportunity. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Good lie in the fairway. Good chance to make something happen here. One player told me, Frank, that it's like a root canal appointment. You're thinking about 17 all day long.
I think a root canal at times would be more enjoyable than playing 17 on a windy day.
Headed for the bunker? Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sandwich. Amazing. Birdie try up next. Getting set now over the putt. So close. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. And he makes it for par. Down to the par 4 12th, and it's a pretty short hole, Frank.
Yeah, Pete Dye often doesn't get enough credit for his short par 4s. This is a great example where one of the features of it is the blind second shot, just to give you a little bit of doubt on judging the distance.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Now the approach to the 12th, Frank. What's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
This is a good-looking shot. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par.
Even par currently.
Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. One of the great things about this golf course, Frank, a variety of par 3s, different yardages. Here at the 13th, 181-yard par 3.
Yeah, this is where you have to be careful on the tee there. Anything left's just going to be eaten up by that lake. Matter of fact, if you hit one with a little bit of a hook and it catches the mound, it can still kick into the lake. So this one here, just be a little cautious on the tee.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
And he's made the green. Settles in over the putt. Oh, do that. And through the years, Frank, it has gotten the best of the best, hasn't it?
We've seen Tiger Woods hit it left. We've seen Vijay Singh hit it left. We've seen so many players in the water down the left. Conversely, many a championship's been lost by hitting the ball up in the mounds on the right.
You take 4 here and run to 15?
I would sprint. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my era.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That one was running so hot. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. Really, this is an awkward length.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
So a tester from 4 feet.
So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right. And really 2 good shots and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly. And 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole.
Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of this green. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
Frank, high-level players are never terribly disappointed to play from the fringe, and that's where this ball has ended up.
Yeah, it could have been better, it could have been worse, but in the end, you just got nothing much you can do about it now. A couple of choices coming up.
Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
They're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Players.
We're at the TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, for one of the game's most prestigious titles, the Players Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. How you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Back to the TPC Sawgrass, the 15th hole. It's a par 4 as we make our way to this finishing stretch. And Frank, what's in store for the players here?
Another one of those par 4s around 450 yards. Ideally hit it tee shot down the right side, keeping it away from that bunker. But that's a flat bunker down the right with no lip, so it's still not too bad. Biggest problem here is that green. So many undulations on this green.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Getting set now for the approach at the 15th.
Yeah, good-looking second shot here, but you've got to be precise. Hardly a flat spot on this green.
Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday.
You'd like that one again.
Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
And getting ready for the putt. Good putt.
Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. But the extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is 2 clubs. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Straightforward pitch shot here, 35 yards. Well, Frank, these winds have not at all subsided. Still a challenge.
Yeah, but the same for everybody, and that's where you've just got to adjust your own mental path. Golf course was going to be difficult when you teed off, and it's certainly no different now.
See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Trying to make yet another birdie. Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. And he makes it for par. It may well be the most famous single hole in the entire sport of golf. The 17th, the Island Green at the TPC Sawgrass. Everyone wants to play it at least once before their days are done. And if you do play it, you know you're going to go home, and your buddies are going to ask you, what'd you make at 17? You better have a good answer. Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's...
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, I thought that was in. Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Now to the final hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, is this one of the toughest finishing holes in the sport?
It is, because the simple reason you played 17 holes and the job isn't done yet. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Now he just needs one final good swing here, the approach shot to the last.
That green's starting to look a little smaller than what it did earlier in the day. Well, that's the best that was going to be on the fringe.
Not too bad. Frank, a little chip shot here from the fringe. Now, a lot of options. I've seen some players hit 6-iron. Others will shut down like a sand wedge.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought. Some people just try and perfect like one club, but really the best chippers chip with a variety of clubs.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round.
Well, not in contention, but in for par.
So another tournament in the books, Frank, and what'd you make of this one?
Quality venue once again, Rich. The standard of courses we're seeing is excellent, and consequently it's enabling the players to really play some great golf. So I think golf's the winner today.